So I started writing down everything I knew about finance, and from there, that's when the book was birthed. Because and I prayed really hard over a title. I do a lot of prayer. I mean, I'm not a perfect person, but I believe when a person's lost, the first thing they should do is pray for God. And so I did. I started praying, and something was like the game plan, and I was like, the game plan. I was like, that sounds corny. Like, this is 2021, the game plan. And as I thought about it, investing and financial literacy is literally a game.
Yep.
But especially building wealth, true wealth, is literally a game. And I played a lot of video games growing up. So how I see things now is literally a game. How I learned about credit and everything else, and how to monopolize most stuff around me is like a video game. It's like there's different levels, different tiers. And even business, like the first game you kind of learn to play as a kid, board game, what that everybody knows about is Monopoly. They give you cash, Monopoly, you use the calculator.
Real life.
Monopoly is real life.
That's the only game that I paid for.
Right.
That's the only game
that you played for.
Like, that's the only game that I have on my phone is Monopoly. That's it.
It's amazing, but you know what else is cool? Everybody talks about Rich Dad, Poor Dad, but have you played this game Cash Flow?
No, I've never seen it.
I play with my wife all the time. Okay. She's another financial literacy advocate, but she's a little bit more risk adverse than me. So she only invests in things that she really likes and really knows. Okay. So she was the first person to actually put a piece of gold bullion in my hand. Talking about solid gold, not gold in your chain, like a gold brick. She was like, here's what I buy. And I remember being like, and this was when we was dating, she was just my girlfriend, and I was like, I remember picking it up, I'm like, this is real gold? She's like, yeah. I'm like, how much of this do you have? She's like, well, I'm not going to tell you, but it's quite a bit. Right. She's like, I buy it every month. I'm like, and you ship it to Bermuda? And she's like, yeah, through FedEx or whatever, I ship it in and I put it in my safe. And I'm like,
so I wonder how much she has to value it as on an invoice. To go to Bermuda.
Oh, I have no idea. No, you know what happens? The company values it and puts the invoice in the box. Okay, so you can't even lie. Okay. You can't even lie. And she will buy it.
$1.
Yeah. They put the invoice in the box for you and they send it. Yeah, I know a lot of Bermudians be trying to scam and stuff like that and put like, oh yeah, they don't know what this is. This is silver. It's $1, and they're like, oh well. Customs is like, oh well, here you go.
You still gotta pay $5.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at Zipex and stuff, you use them as $14 minimum for the first pawn, and then every other pawn is money after that. But she started buying gold bullion. But cash flow, I encourage all my parents out there who have never read Rich Dad Poor Dad to read that, but also to get the board game called Cash Flow that changed my life.
But where can you find that game?
We got it off of Amazon, but it's also on your phone, like Monopoly.
Oh really?
Yeah, and you can play online. So I could play you from my house.
Okay,
I could let you lose, but
I'm
joking.
I don't know how to play it yet.
It's such an interesting game because it talks about the 4 quadrants, which is
assets over liabilities.
Yeah, assets, liabilities. Then it talks about the 9 to 5 worker, the self-employed person, the person that earns income through passively, so like hands free.
Right.
And then it talks about people that are in extreme debt, right? So in cash flow, the goal in the game is to acquire the most assets you can, which allows you to beat the other person because those assets allow you to build wealth. So it actually questions like, would you like to trade this car for stocks? Would you like to trade these stocks for CDs? Or would you like CDs, certificates of deposit? Or would you like to trade these CDs for gold bullion? And you keep trying to scale until you reach it has an amount. You keep trying to scale until you reach that amount. So by that, I was like, yo, they turned investing into a game. And then I started viewing life like completely differently, right? It was like a game. Everything became a game to me. Stocks, I super love Forex right now. Crypto, eToro, Uber, whatever you wanna use, it becomes a game to me because I'm like, let me see how much information I can obtain about this, and then let me see how I can apply it to my real life, my own life, right?
Right.
And let me see how I can educate everybody else on the correct way to do it as well through my own mistakes.
Right.
So through writing the book, I used everything that I had done and then tried to explain it in the best way possible and how to do it the right way. So how to buy crypto the right way. You know, don't be buying a whole bunch of old coins and coins you're not too sure about. Build a solid portfolio of 10 of your favorite cryptocurrencies that have been around for the past 6-7 years, right? Stick with your 5 basics: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, no Doge, unfortunately. You know, you have Matic, Polygon. It's a whole bunch, but stick with your most stable coins first before you decide to jump into things you don't know.
Right.
You know, and the same thing with stocks. Like when I talk about stocks, I always talk about what's on your feet. Crocs.
Yep.
You know, what type of phone do you use? You use an iPhone. Okay, that's made by Apple. Okay, what type of sneakers you have? Oh, I have one Jordans. Okay, that's Nike. You know, so I always encourage people to stick with what they know and what they know only until they're able to branch onto things they don't quite understand but can grasp the basic concept of. Right? Like Tesla. Like everybody bought. I'm kind of mad. I was gonna say I didn't think about buying Tesla because I was like, electric cars. Like you know, things are so far ahead of us, right? I was like, electric cars. I was like, man, that's gonna be when I'm like 45. I'm 27. It exists, but it's also a very fast moving industry and it's scaling so quickly. Now you have electric freights and stuff like that, 18 wheelers and stuff. More powerful than gas.
Exactly.
That's the crazy part. The new thing is actually NFTs.
Yes. NFTs.
Now that's something. Whoever watches this, we gotta timestamp this here. January 21st, 2021. If you're watching this and you heard me say it, go get an NFT. That's all I'm gonna say. Go get an NFT.
NFT though.
The NFTs is like the beginning of crypto. You could buy random ones and just hold them.
And hope they're worth something.
They will be worth something. Because the thing with NFTs is, once they're up there on the blockchain, it's like fine wine, right? The older they get, the more valuable they become. It's like it's something called minting. So when you mint an NFT or an image and it's up there on the blockchain, once it's minted and up there, you can't change the date. You could delete it on some platforms, but some platforms, once it's up there, it's permanent, right?
Okay.
So you can verify the age and ownership of it. That's like somebody saying, you know what? Let's verify the age and original ownership of the Mona Lisa back when it first was out.
Okay.
And then if somebody tried to steal it.
What you mean? Yes, I get.
You can't steal it.
All right. Yeah, I know what you mean now. All right. Let me buy me an NFT. Where can people find your book?
So right now I'm still editing the book.
Okay.
Because I wrote a book. Everybody thinks writing a book is easy, which it is. It's now making the book make sense, which is hard.
Okay.
Because I wrote it out of order. There was a lot of grammatical errors when we first printed it. The margins were all over the place. So right now,
so it's gonna be a physical book.
Yeah, it's gonna be a physical book.
Because I remember seeing the promotion for it.
Right. So I did the promotion for it when it first came out because I was just like I said.
So you've already launched it, but now you're doing it again.
Right. I'm doing it again the right way. Everything the right way. So you could when it launches, you could find my book on Amazon as well as locally at Bronico. And then on my own website with the clothing line. So it would have
put the link in the bio.
Right. Put the link in the bio. But once that launches, it will be on those 3 places.
Okay. So when you say you're going back to edit it, are you using a publishing company or are you doing it yourself independently?
So now I'm using a publishing company.
Okay. So the first time was independently.
Right. It was independently. So I independently contracted somebody to read it and that they did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that there was a lot of things that were missed as well. So when they went to go print it, there was a lot of things that were off the page, and any sizes was wrong. And I already printed a few copies though, so I was seeing by that.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, but everything for me is a learning lesson.
Exactly. So. All right. What do you feel has been your biggest accomplishment thus far?
Man, I would say right now at this present moment, my biggest accomplishment is building this new startup that we're building, and we successfully got into our first incubator program. So,
so that's different from the app.
It's a new app we're building.
So it's not the same.
No, it's a completely different app.
Okay. So is AO Bermuda still active?
No, not as an app. Just as the clothing.
Just as a brand.
Just as the brand.
All right. How has starting a business brand affected your family life and social life?
Social life. I was never really a sociable person. I have 5 best friends. That's it. I add new people every now and then, but most of my friends live stateside. Then I've got 2 here that, if we want to chat, you just hit me up on WhatsApp, or if they really need to talk, I'll go and see them every now and then. But in terms of social life, I mean, after 5, I dedicate time to my wife, and then she could sleep by 9. So after 9, back on the business again, you know. So it doesn't really affect it much.
All right. How do you handle the people around you that don't support you or doubt what you're doing?
I don't have any people around me like that. Strange enough. Like I said, just my family, my wife.
Like never?
My dad doubted me when it came to cryptocurrency, but that was just because of his knowledge. But at the end of the day, I still forged the path of fire. I mean, I showed him my account with 100K in there, and his jaw dropped. It's like, I told you this is what was gonna happen. And from there, I mean, but it wasn't anything that held me back. It was just like skeptical. I don't really have any haters or keep any haters around me. You know? I don't even think we gel well. You know, so.
Well, that's good. All right. What advice would you give to our listeners on entrepreneurship, being an author, and becoming a tech founder?
Entrepreneurship 101. Spend time finding out what you like to do, and then turn that into a business instead of turning something into a business that you think is going to make you a lot of money. You know, because those aren't the most successful businesses. The most successful people in life are passionate or extremely passionate about what they're doing with their time. You know, the Elon Musk, the Tim Cook, the Steve Jobs, those type of people that have multi-million-dollar businesses and corporations, or whatever you want to call it, startups. They are extremely passionate about what they do because it never feels like work. You know, and your business that you start shouldn't feel like work. For authors, if you're an author, don't be like me. Use as much assistance when you write your book as possible. You should start writing, but when it comes to you printing your book, find a publisher, find a book formatter, and go from there. Those will make your process a lot easier and a lot less stressful. So when you write your book, find a publisher, find an editor, and then you can go from there. But still start writing if you're passionate. So being a tech founder is, to me, very, very, very exciting. I'm a tech founder, but I'm not necessarily the tech person. So if you find yourself wanting to build a tech business, you have a great idea, you have the business development skills, team up with someone that knows as much about tech as the experts do. So you don't have to stress yourself trying to figure out how to build everything and how everything works. So you should pair yourself up with a tech industry expert, right? So my business partner and close friend, he's actually a mobile app developer, full blown. So when I don't understand something, he breaks it down to me in layman's terms, as if he was talking to his son or another kid. It's like, here's how this works. And I'm like, okay, cool, I understand. So you should always team up with somebody that complements complements you as a founder and as a person, right?
Right.
So that's easy to build a tech brand, but having that person to complement you is a real fun.
Okay. What's next for you and your brand?
So that's for me and my brand. So I'm launching some new items for summer and for winter. So I told everybody this, and they've seen it on my Instagram, but I do have a tracksuit coming out.
Yes, I saw that.
In fluorescent colors that, or pastel colors that spark a little bit of home in there because, Bermuda has pastel colored homes, very vibrant and bright. I have a tracksuit coming, but we're doing a complete rebrand too. So the old AO logo is going to be replaced with something
You said what's on the tracksuit?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's our new logo on the tracksuit. So if you zoom in real hard, I don't know if you can see it, you'll be able to kind of see it. It's a circle.
Yeah.
Right. It's a whole new logo, and it's no longer going to be called AO Bermuda. It's just going to be AO.
Okay.
So to me, AO was a cultural thing to us, but to everybody else, AO is a greeting.
True.
Between mutual friends or somebody you know or somebody AO. So
You're right.
One of the things back to the tech founder thing was I always caught flack for wearing tracksuits to like business sort of meetings and stuff. But when we had the Bermuda Tech Summit, I saw some of the wealthiest people do their panels in tracksuits. People who were billionaires were sitting up there in tracksuits with their legs crossed. And I was like,
comfortable.
I was like, I want to wear a tracksuit to sign $1 million deal. Like, that's my thing,
Yeah.
Business has to be redefined. It has no face or specific image or, as people are doing deals in tracksuits and Jordans and Nikes.
You heard of the guy E.T.? The,
hip-hop preacher?
Thomas? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy, t-shirt, hoodie, snapback. Everywhere he goes.
Everywhere. $1 million man, multi-million-dollar man.
Yes.
And that's to me, I want to break those chains. I want to be able to wear like I love being comfortable.
Exactly.
I don't mind putting on a suit, but it's not necessarily my type of vibe.
Right.
If I have to, I'll do it, but I would prefer to wear a tracksuit. Right. So I was like, hey, build a different brand, but keep the same kind of vibe. Then build a tracksuit.
Alright.
And then I have some other interesting items that I haven't taken pictures of yet that are going to be dropping as well.
You want to say them? Because it's probably under to April.
So I am dropping an official AU baseball jersey. Authentic MLB grade. So it's not like cotton, it's real. Ring spun polyester with a little bit of cotton. MLB grade jersey. And I have a football jersey coming out as well, and a basketball jersey.
Okay. What's the reasoning for doing jerseys?
What's the reason for doing
jerseys?
So I've always thought baseball jerseys was fly.
Me too, I'm gonna lie.
Always thought baseball jerseys was fly, and I was like, we don't really have a Bermuda baseball jersey. So I was like, let me drop the Bermuda baseball jersey, and I have the first look of it on my own personal Instagram. I have a 101 that I'm gonna frame because it's gonna be the first one, and then I'm gonna have other ones made. And being that we're millennials, growing up, we used to wear a lot of baseball jerseys, basketball jerseys, football or soccer jerseys are really popular here. But I wanted to put an urban twist to it and make it, cool again.
Right. Okay.
So I plan on dropping these items because my brand is going to be really urban, catered towards people who could wear these items anywhere, Yeah. So that was my goal and idea in dropping this.
All right. What would you say to your future self 5 years from now?
To my future self 5 years from now, I hope you are where you want to be. I hope you are just as wealthy as you imagine yourself right now in this position. The last 2 years you experienced a lot of ups and downs, and I'm pretty sure when you see this video 5 years from now, you'll be laughing at yourself saying, look at him. I can't believe I actually done that. So 5 years from now, I wish you prosperity, wealth, abundance, financial freedom, and just great overall health.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
You don't have no like monetary, like when you say wealth, you don't have no monetary, like where do I want to be exactly?
In 5 years from now,
Mm-hmm.
I just hope I'm like super retired. Like
Super retired.
enough money to like comfortably retire.
Enough passive income, you mean, or just you already have
even
money?
even if it's enough money like saved up
Mm-hmm.
or made to retire, I'll be happy with that because I actually just had this conversation today. One of my things in business is when business starts to become too heavy in decision making in terms of like, we were talking about Netflix and Peloton and different businesses, how they're just cutting employees and firing and terminating and cutting her and cutting her just to increase profit margins. That's when I would leave because it puts the credibility of the business at stake, and I'm not in it to make quadrillions of dollars. I just want enough money to build a solid family legacy.
Generational wealth.
Generational wealth.
That's what's up. All right, last thing. Where do you see yourself and your business 5 years from now?
5 years from now, I see myself back in music full time without monetary strain or monetary constrictions. So doing it because I love it, not because I need money. Producing full time, earning a studio, earning a film studio with my wife, as well as a film company, because one of the things I like to do is instead of buying each other materialistic things, we buy each other equipment.
Okay.
So like for Christmas, she got me a microphone, and for her birthday a few years ago, I got her lights and a gimbal for her DSLR camera. So we're just trying to actively build upon each other, right?
That's what's up.
Because she believes in me, I believe in her. And she's really passionate about film, and she's actually a filmmaker.
Okay.
She's really passionate about film. So 5 years from now, I see us in a film studio, a music studio, an entertainment company, and just really wealthy individuals who are working in the field and passionate about what they do without financial strain and monetary constrictions.
That's what's up.
Just building generational wealth,
That is definitely. I actually like that you have someone that's like-minded and you're doing it together. That's me. I'm just a single young lady. I'm doing everything by myself. Like, I don't have that support system, and that's what I'm looking for at this point. So that's nice that you actually have that.
And it's not easy. Well, it wasn't easy to find somebody like that. And it was just, I say it was by chance, but no, it's not by chance, it's by design, because we're still growing together. But it's definitely valuable to have somebody that's not blocking your blessings or blocking your visions by saying, I want you to do this, or I expect you to do this.
Exactly.
Instead, it's like, go on and do what you gotta do. Just come back, at night, come back every now and then, have dinner and stuff like that. And she's really supportive of my dreams and aspirations. And one thing, I always say this, I'm a Gemini, so I'm very like unpredictable at times. So like when I see a vision, I just have to act on it, and she doesn't get in my way of it. She's like, oh, how can I help? And I'm like, yeah, okay, it's a good time. I might not be always successful,
but at least you tried.
Right, and that's my thing with it, and that's her thing with it as well. It's just like, as long as you give your all, I'm never gonna get in your way. As long as it's not, you don't give half of yourself to it, and then it's like, okay, well, you didn't really give it your all, so I'm not in support. As long as you give it your all, I'm never gonna get in your way.
That's what's up.
So that's I could say that's the biggest blessing, which is why when you asked earlier in the podcast, how does it work? How do you find the balance between business and family? It's not really hard.
Because you have that support system.
Matter of fact, you guys, she just blew up my phone earlier and was like, oh, send me the link to your podcast. And I'm like, I'm actually on the podcast, so I can't send you a link, you know.
All right.
So
That's what's up.
I can ask you some questions.
Sure, go for it, man.
Where do you want to be in 5 years?
Oh my goodness, I should have known this would be 5 years from now, I will have a successful clothing brand. I have a successful YouTube channel,
Right.
at least 2. And I say 2, 1 as in my personal one, and 2 as in the Black Excellence Club. The Black Excellence Club will be a community of Black entrepreneurs. I really don't have a full vision of the Black Excellence Club, but it's gonna be something that's empowering young children. Some way, somehow, we're teaching financial literacy, we're teaching entrepreneurship, we're teaching how to start a business, we're teaching how to keep a business. Because a lot of people, oh, you can just start a business, but no one's really telling you what really entails of owning a business, like things of that nature. 5 years from now, I will be a millionaire. I will be choosing to work a full-time job. It's by choice, not because I have to. I may or may not be in Bermuda. Who knows? That's where I'm gonna be in 5 years. Maybe somewhere else in the world. Most definitely somewhere else in the world. Because I have nothing right now. I have nothing holding me here. Like, you know what I mean? I don't have no children. I don't have no man. I don't have nothing. I can up and leave if I want. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you 2 more.
All right.
How do you feel about doing business in Bermuda?
As in starting a business or
starting and growing your business in Bermuda?
I feel like because I'm just starting myself, it's hard to get information. Or you're getting information and then you speak to someone else, the information is completely different. That's something that I'm finding to be difficult thus far. When it comes to scaling your business, I feel like because I'm starting a business, I'm researching other people's businesses, and it's just like they just go here and they stay here. They don't go any higher, and that's what I'm noticing. So I'm taking that and I'm learning how can I get there first, and then how can I get above them, and continue to grow my business.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, just selling T-shirts and hoodies, that's cool, but why not put a whole body of your work on someone? Your shoes, your socks, your underwear, your pants, your shirt, your undervest, your hat. Why am I just gonna stop at a T-shirt and a hoodie? Like, you know what I mean? So that's my goal. That's how I see myself elevating compared to other businesses that I'm seeing on the island.
Okay, that's good. You guys, she gave a lot of information because that is something every entrepreneur that first starts faces is gathering the information to actually do everything the right way. It's a struggle, and a lot of it is growing pains as well. You know, just finding out how to do stuff the right way on island is very hard. But once you get it, I guess you get it, right? So, how do you feel about millennials and investing in Bermuda? Like, what is your take on the typical millennials and the investment knowledge in Bermuda? Like the average our age demographic. Like, how do you feel?
I feel like it's poor overall, but I feel like it's getting better in the sense of a lot of people are interested in crypto. A lot of people are trying to figure out how to do crypto, and I feel like they're learning it, but they're not learning it the right way at the same time. So a lot of them are probably losing a lot of money.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I just feel like, and again, this is why I'm creating this platform, is to help not only younger people, but people my age as well, learn how to invest and whatnot, especially on my personal page. On my personal YouTube, because no one was there to teach me how to do it. I only heard about it because I overheard one of my coworkers talking about something. I was like, okay, tell me more. Right. He's like, do this, go to this bank, go buy this. Well, he didn't tell me what to buy. He was like, the first introduction I had to investing was with Bermuda Stock Exchange is buy what you pay for every month. You're paying this company every month, buy into them, because that way that company is paying you. and
Exactly.
you're paying them, they're paying you back.
Exactly.
So that's how I learned about investing is that. And then I did my own research. I started reading a few books, learned this, learned that. And now I'm just at the point to where I am still learning. I don't know everything, but I also want to make it known to other people, like, you don't have to live paycheck to paycheck. You really don't. Because there are other ways. You can live paycheck to paycheck for the next 5 years, but after that, you don't have to work hard for that paycheck anymore. You're doing that paycheck because you choose to. You know what I mean? Right. So that's why I'm working to get into that position, to whereas I don't have to go to work every day. Like, I'm tired of working 8 hours a day, because it's 40 hours a week, and then you're only home for maybe less than 40 hours a week. Because if you're doing all this stuff, it's just like it takes up too much of my time.
Facts. And you're not really enjoying your life.
Exactly.
Do you feel like as millennials we put too much focus on materialistic things instead of actually investing?
Yep.
Like, because we have to have the latest iPhone. I mean, I looked up the price of the latest iPhone. It's like what? The 12 is like
12 is 800. The 13 is something else. So I just bought the 12.
In Bermuda?
Oh, I didn't know. Come on.
It's just like, you feel like we put too much focus on having the latest Gucci, Fendi, the latest Jordans.
But you know what? It's the millennials that's keeping those businesses in business. That's my honest feel, because like millennials that are materialistic, I should say, because not all of us are materialistic. Because like even just watching TV, right? These rappers, things of that nature, they get paid to wear that stuff. Almost half of them probably do get paid to wear it, and then no really wearing it, so you can go and buy it because you want to be like them. That's it. That's exactly what it is that they're doing. I'm just like, if you guys, you want to spend $500 on the back, cool. I'm gonna spend $500 on stocks. Which is gonna be more beneficial 2 years from now? Exactly. Which is gonna be more beneficial 20 years from now?
Right.
That belt's gonna be broken apart. It ain't worth what you paid for anymore. It's gonna be moldy. Who knows? Like, you know what I mean? It's not gonna gain value. So I feel like if you want to be materialistic, buy. I don't know what sort of bag it is. What it's called, a Birkin or something.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that in my head. That's an investment.
Go buy that. If you want to buy something, go buy that bag.
That's an investment.
But ain't those bags? I don't even know how much.
They're like 10 grand.
If you want to buy something, go buy that, because that increases in value. Right. A Rolex increases in value. Like, you know what I mean? Exactly. If you can't be materialistic, at least buy something that increases in value over time.
Yeah, it's not the regular purses and bags.
Apparently they call it a money bag.
What?
A money bag, like for mothers.
The Birkins? Oh yeah, I mean that makes sense, because a lot of the wealthier mothers out there that mostly stay at home have them, or the wealthier corporate women have Birkin bags. But they also one of the things that fascinated me about the women's purses and stuff, I always used to get annoyed. I was like, why do they keep the bags and the boxes and the little? So when you buy a purse, I bought my wife it's not a Birkin, but I bought a Kate Spade for Christmas the year before last. Yeah, the year before last. Bought a Kate Spade, walked on time, paid cash, whatever. Weren't that big of a deal. Right. Anyway, the dude was like, oh, do you want the pink bag? And I was like, no, I don't want that pink bag for us. Like, we have enough bags. And then I was like, you know what? If she wants to keep it in mint condition, she's gonna put it back in the bag, and then she's gonna put it in the box. But she didn't do that. She uses it to this day. But that's how those women maintain the value. They use it for the night. They probably rest it on the table, which is why they rest them on the table, because they don't want any dirt together. Right. Yeah. And they take all that stuff out. They make sure no lip gloss or lipstick can get in the center, and they put it back in the little bag and put it back in the box and put it right on the shelf. Because Birkin, I think they only make a limited series of certain bags, so you spend 10 grand.
So that's why they go up in value. Okay.
And Louis too, like, you're not supposed to really wear Louis Vuitton like that. It's meant to go for outfit.
Millennials wear.
Right.
See?
So that's why I was just asking, do you feel like, I mean, even in Bermuda with bikes, right?
Yes.
everybody glorifies bikes. I never had a brand new bike. I'm not, just as an FYI, I'm not jealous.
You still haven't never had a brand new bike?
Never had a brand new bike. I grew up in a family where you bought secondhand vehicles and you prioritized your home first. My parents did get a brand new car, but that the like late 50s now, so that's they deserve it. But bikes, we glorify bikes in Bermuda heavily. We spend a lot of money on customization. I mean, a new SH what costs $5,500. 6,000. See, I don't know. 6,500.
Close to $7,000. No, apparently
$7,000 for a bike.
Close to $7,000. They're like six.
To say you look wicked,
like
or you
six,
look cool, you look fly.
six something on your road. Like it's ridiculous, man.
I can't.
Bike's still worth the only $2,000 that they're probably paying for it over in Asia. Like
this bikes come from
they come from Asia.
I think they come from Asia, like maybe Singapore or something like that. But it's crazy to spend $7,000. I mean, to me, it's not, bikes aren't that important to me because I would go to England or London or something like that, or the States, and I could get a second-hand Beamer with 78,000 miles for 7,000, maybe 6,000. Put some rims on it, and then rent it out on Toro. If I have good credit in England, I could spend 7,000. Down payment, walk over the keys and put it on Toro and make money back. Yeah, it's big. They have Turo, they have Uber. They have, listen.
You can rent your car to an Uber driver too.
To drive.
Yes.
It's called Hire Car. I just put my boy on that. One of my best friends in Florida, he needed a car because his car got impounded. I can't remember why. It's like, yo, I need a car to get to work. I'm like, hire car. I was like, no, I need some extra cash. I was like, hire a car, register for Uber. We guys spent 2 hours. He did it. And now he drives Uber with hire car, got his own car out. And now he uses the hire car. It's like, yeah, I'm about to log on. I'm like, it's just so many ways. But yeah, in England, they have Uber. They have Toro. They have Lyft. They have Uber Eats, DoorDash. And in England, the cool part is they work off of a credit system as well called Experian. So yeah, NIN number gives you a credit score. If you have good credit in England, you could get a Range Rover for a down payment of 10%. So £4,000.
You know that's my dream car. I'm not buying a car till I can afford 5 Range Rovers. And I'm gonna buy one. 5
Range Rovers.
Until I had the cash.
Oh, okay. I was like, you gotta buy 5 Range Rovers like you're having a fleet?
Until I had the cash to buy 5, I'm gonna buy one. I know, what's the name? Grant Cardone says 10 times. Forget that. When I have...
and I love Grant. I love Grant.
I have 5 times that, I'm buying my Range Rover. And it's gonna be customized, because that's the only car I intend on having.
Which one do you want then?
I don't know.
Do you vote? Because I'm a car guy, I love
it's either the Sport or the regular one.
Yeah, the Evoque.
Yeah.
The small with the I think it's, I know which one you're talking about. But
I have a picture of it. This is how, because I went and I looked it up to see how much it's gonna cost, so now I know how much money I need.
What's it, like 70?
And I screenshotted it. Nah, it's like 100K.
You're talking about brand new? You want to buy? Oh, okay, cool.
But I'm not gonna buy it brand new.
Cause I was like,
because I'm not gonna buy it brand new. But
what year you want and how many miles?
So I see it as right now we're at 2022. I'll buy it in 20. I don't see myself buying it anytime soon, so I'll buy the 2022 version because it's gonna be 4 or 5 years old by the time I buy it. Well, at least I'm thinking it's gonna take me that long to make that much money. So I'm not gonna buy it brand new. Forget that, because it's just gonna go down in value. So it doesn't make sense.
I want to show you something real quick. I'm gonna show you I'm gonna tell the podcast as quick as I can pull it up.
Until I see anything better than a Range Rover, then that I right now, because right now it's just like a Range Rover. Like, I can do everything with a Range Rover. Like, you know what I mean?
I'm just like, man.
And if I'm in Bermuda, I'm getting that in Bermuda. Oh, you can't have a Range Rover. Yes, I can. I have a business.
Like the guy that owns the Wrangler.
Mm-hmm.
The Wrangler
one. The Wrangler. You have the that big BMW with your boy what's his name, Bishop Lamb has that BMW. Then you got the kiosk that the police just got.
Oh yes,
a couple of
those
people's
things are
gotten that.
big.
A couple of people's gotten theirs on the business card. Like, you know what I mean?
Those
You could get a
things are
bigger
big.
vehicle. It just has to be on the just has to be under your business. You can't have it personally. That's not bad. It's like right now, I'll buy a 2015.
Look at look at the down payment to the car of her.
I'm just gonna walk away.
See that? See down
I'm just gonna walk away.
And look how many months?
2 years.
48 months.
At $1,000 per. No, I mean, but what's the payment gonna be?
That's
I am leaving.
Well, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure speaking to you guys. I just had to show up. Maybe she should paste this. Maybe she should paste this online. But that's with good credit, obviously. But
yeah.
The thing about
but if I'm in a position where I can afford 10 of those cars, then they're gonna give it to you anyway.
Right.
I'll just pay it cash. I ain't giving you a money with that.
Right. See.
Like, you know what I mean?
You set your financial goal at the beginning of this podcast. I'm just showing one of the things I like to do, you guys, is show people what's possible. It's because a lot of things in Bermuda are really expensive to us. So when we go to other places, we miss the part that things are accessible at the easily accessible out there at the same price that we pay double her for. Yeah. So like the $7,000 SH.
Yeah, let's put for an example like a BMW. That's it. I thought that was more.
81,000.
I thought it was more. I ain't gonna lie.
What's he make of that? So I can look it up on her and tell you that. 2 Series. Let's look this up.
Yeah.
Let's look this up.
BMW 2 Series Coupe.
I mean, I don't really believe that people should pay monthly for something if it's well above their means. Like, you should always save the money to buy a vehicle,
right? Especially
when it comes to luxury. But if you have good credit and you're financially stable and you've developed a plan, right?
You could do it.
You could do it.
Starting at 81,000. So that means
that's not even a fully customizable model.
No, it's not even that. That depends on what color you're getting.
You could even go up in years.
Even if you change the interior, or the interior is not the color you want, you're paying extra for that because they're gonna special order your car for you.
We could go up in years. Look. This
so
is
what
2018.
So you could put in what year model you want.
You could put in all of it. What year miles. Yeah. This is 2018, 23. It's got 16,000 miles. And I'm going up in years, 18, 19, 21. So this is 4 years old, barely driven. M2, which is what we have here. 23,000, which is probably like 35.
And then if you bought that car and tried to ship it here, they'd be like, that's not how much it's worth.
Look at the monthly payment, $424.
$400 a month. That's crazy.
48 months, $1,000 cash deposit.
$400 a month.
$1,000 cash deposit.
No, 4 years. Sorry, I keep saying 2 years.
I can't guarantee all these things.
Right, but that's.
I know that
you have good credit. Good credit. That's what it could be.
But I know that it's accessible too, and I know that things to us may seem out of reach, but to everybody else, like when we go foreign, we get good cars, finest restaurants, finest places, and that's how life is supposed to be lived.
Most definitely.
So it was good being on the Black Excellence podcast of Bermuda, well, internationally, because it's not just limited to Bermuda. I appreciate the invite onto this podcast, as this is my first podcast interview. I appreciate that you thought of me so highly, even though I still feel like I'm a small fry myself down here in comparison to some of the other people you're going to interview. I think you have an amazing 5-year plan. I must say myself, I'm very impressed that another millennial in Bermuda has the same goals and dreams as myself, bigger goals and dreams. And I just encourage you to keep on pushing the brand, keep on motivating people, keep on being yourself,
All right. Thank you.
And thank you for having me on.
Thank you for coming today. Really appreciate it. And stay tuned for part 2. And we're both in bigger and better places.
Yes.
We've reached our goals.